having a bit of a fuel issue right now.
We're getting awfully close to this buoy.
Oh, that's stressful. Whew. That's what I was worried about the most, was coming in and not having the engine die when we dock. But moments like these are the moments that give me gray hair.
Hi, we're Jen, Elliot, and Ollie. In 2019, we left the United States and backpacked through 11 countries, all before deciding to come back home and try something completely new, pivoting into boat life. Our current adventure is America's Great Loop, a 6,000-mile journey through small towns, big cities, and the wilderness from the eastern portion of the United States, through the Great Lakes and Canada, and down the Midwest rivers, all aboard our home on the water, Pivot. Make sure you subscribe as we share our journey through the highs, lows, and everything in between.
Good morning.
Good morning.
They say when you see red in the morning, it's a sailor's warning. So we are leaving early, trying to basically beat the system that's coming in this afternoon. It's gonna be blowing or gusting 30 knots this afternoon.
Yeah, and even though we're on the protected rivers, we still take weather very seriously. So we have to get going early. But what a beautiful sunrise we had this morning.
It's very trippy standing here with you guys because the current is like a knot right now. So the reflection of the water and the leaves are making it seem like we're moving, but we're not. If you missed it on the last vlog, this anchorage was the same anchorage that Sam and Rev from What Yacht to Do used on their, I think, second loop. And they ran aground going out the other end, and they left a review on Navionics, which is super nice and super helpful. So we are gonna be learning from them and leaving the way we came in. These clouds are insane right now. The reflection makes it literally look like we're cruising through the clouds. This is unreal. So beautiful. Probably one of our most beautiful mornings. This is awesome. We're about 7.5 nautical miles to the Pickwick Dam and Lock, and we're going slower and slower and slower. So we were supposed to get in around 12:30. Now our ETA is 1:01, and just getting longer and longer because the current coming out of this dam is significant. It's over a knot right now. We are going 5.3 knots currently. We've been cruising about 6.5 on average coming down the river. So it's only gonna get worse. So I hope we can continue to make good time before the afternoon storm comes in. And it's been very windy all day. Nothing too bad, but if it's gusting 30 knots and we try to dock, it will gust 30 knots as soon as we dock. That's just like how things work in boating. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen out there. So we're hoping to get it before that, but it is what it is. It's just all part of the loop, you know. This is why the loop is so challenging, because constantly you're in new bodies of water, in new sort of weather conditions, and you have to overcome them and do the right thing. And so it's just a lot of practice. You're in a lot of different situations. It's such a great way to learn boating, I feel, you know, coming from zero boating experience to now being pretty comfortable with what's going on. But still, like, this is completely so far from the truth a year ago. And and the Great Loop just makes you learn, forces you to learn. A bit of a fuel issue right now, so we're going to, like, our RPM keep dropping, and so we're gonna basically temporarily shut down the boat. I'm gonna bleed the engine, and then we're gonna come back, and we're about to be at the lock and be done with the day, but I gotta do it now.
Good morning, are you guys good?
Yeah, we're dealing with the fuel issue. I think we're gonna handle it. We should make the lock if everything goes according to plan, but yeah, no worries. Thanks for asking.
You're most welcome.
We're getting awfully close to this buoy.
Alright. You can turn it back on.
Okay, start.
Yep.
Forward.
Stressful.
Okay, so it was not the fuel filter.
No. Wasn't air in the lines. At least over there.
Alright, it's happening again.
So I'm gonna take a look at this when we get to the lock, but it's reminiscent of the time that we had air in our lines, and basically diesels don't run with air. They need good fuel pressure and good fuel. So that's what the sound of the engine is telling me. And so normally when it's happened in the past, when I open up our primary Raycor fuel filter, there's air in the top of it because some air somehow got in. This time there wasn't any air in it. I bled it anyway and kind of reset it. So we may need a new fuel filter, we may need a new secondary fuel filter too. So I haven't changed those in a while. But definitely stressful. Especially in an area with barge traffic and current and everything like that. And we're not out of the weeds yet, it just happened again. And we're near the lock, so we're just gonna do what we can and get in and try to resolve it from there. This is one of the things about having a single engine trawler that you dread, is when your single engine stops working. You literally don't have a backup. There's no extra engine to use. We don't have a kicker. We don't have a sail. It goes to sailboat, right? So it's just everything that happens just increases the stress level. You just think of, I'm just floating alone. Now, like, we're in a protected river. There's a lot of current. We're not like surrounded by rocks like we have been in other sections of the loop. At this particular moment, there's not a lot of traffic. So all things considered, no big deal, but it still adds a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety, especially for Jen. So whenever we dock for the evening, I'm gonna really take a thorough deep dive into our fuel system and make sure we have all of our clamps tightened, everything looks good. I'm gonna replace both sets of fuel filters, our primary and our secondary. We replaced the primary every oil change, so every 200 hours. But I haven't replaced the secondary on the loop yet. I just replaced them when we started the loop, so it's been about 700 hours. Whenever we have any sort of engine issue, which has happened a few times this loop, unfortunately, we always come inside because this is where we can turn on and turn off the engine. This is where I can easily go down to the hatch and really see what's going on. One of the things I need to do some research on is the fuel pump and see if that could be a problem. I don't know if you've started that, so something new to learn. Phoenix, this is Pivot.
This is Francesca, he is number 6.
Okay, copy that. We're set up for starboard side, so we're just gonna come ahead. Phoenix, That's what I was worried about the most, was coming in and not having the engine die when we dock. I'm gonna take this time while we're in the lock to go down to the engine compartment. Well, I tightened up everything that I saw that I could without replacing the filters yet. I think I'll do that when we come to our final destination today. We only have 4 more nautical miles, so we should be fine. We're not gonna run it too hot. We're gonna do it nice and slow and really just make sure it's good. It's just, moments like these, I can't even say the whole day. The day was great, but moments like these are the moments that give me gray hair. Hey, Francesca.
Via IP office.
Hi, this is Elliot Schoenfeld on board Pivot. Now, we spoke earlier today about coming in for a transient spot, and you mentioned to give a call back once we were up in the Pickwick Lock, and we are there now. We should be coming out the Pickwick Lock in a minute or so. Pickwick Lock, this is Pivot. Thank you very much for the walkthrough.
When you walked into the room, I couldn't keep my eyes off of you.
The wind is definitely picking up so far on Pickwick Lake. There's just a lot, it's very wide open, so there's a lot of fetch, and so the waves are just building. Nothing dangerous or nothing too bad to cruise. It just is what it is. Maybe we got like 1 footers, 1 second period, so square waves, but they're so low that it doesn't really impact us. On Chateau Pivot, about 3 miles left to Aqua and Ayuka, which is gonna be in a new state for us, which is incredible. We just gotta turn off in this cut, and then we'll be there.
Oh, the rest of our lives.
Grand Harbor Marina.
We just made it to our Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, New York, Michigan, Indiana, Illinois, Missouri, Kentucky, Tennessee.
16, state number 16!
State number 16! Woo!
We've still got the rest of our lives. The rest of our lives.
We're at our destination, Aqua Yacht Safe Harbor Marina. I want to say this is maybe our first Safe Harbor Marina on the loop. I don't know. Safe Harbor like owns a lot of marinas. They buy them out and then they remanage them. And yeah, I want to say this might be our first. I know the one in Beaufort, South Carolina is a Safe Harbor, and we do use them. We did use them for the mooring ball field. So we shall see. One thing that we're making sure while docking is that we are pointing into the wind. The wind is pretty strong today, as we saw in the lake. It's 10 gusting 25. So you got to be pointing into the wind. That's the safe way to do it. How are you doing today? Good. Sounds good, I appreciate it. Alright. Threw that one on there. Sweet. It's a good ride. Good ride. Yeah, we're good. Yep. We're not. done for the day. All right. We sprinted from the boat to get our absentee ballots and run over to the post office. They close in 8 minutes, so we're gonna go turn them in. We made it. This was why we have been moving for so many miles, to make it here where our absentee ballots have been sent. And we're not trying to be political on this channel, but voting is very important. And what we did was we went to our state's website page, like sos.gov, and then requested the absentee ballot to come to a marina. In this case, it was Aqua Yacht. And then we just took that to the post office. And for our state, it has to be in by 7 p.m. on election day, which is, your state may vary. And it's very exciting for us to do this because, as you guys know, like, we travel full time. This is our first time voting remotely. Like, we've had to like travel all the way to Atlanta to vote. And it's very nice. And we have tracking to make sure it comes in on time. And even though it's at the 7th hour, like, probably we could have done this like to GTB or to the rendezvous, but we didn't. But it's okay. Getting it done.
Finally feeling better, lighter than a feather. Got the magic and it feels like a dream. We wake up in the morning, California calling.
That was the 10-ton Bigby waterway that we just went over, which is what we're going to be cruising down to Mobile, Alabama in a few weeks. Which is kind of exciting to see from this way. Congrats, and that's real money too.
Yeah.
Are you guys excited?
Yeah, excited.
Good.
After we got back from casting our absentee ballots, we met some friends on the dock that we haven't met for a long time, and some new friends. And so we met Cinda and Mark from the Boomershines, and they have a YouTube channel. And so we got to meet them finally, and they're like super kind, amazing people. We've been a little bit less than satisfied with the docks here because it's kind of expensive for the area, and our dock has no potable water and only 50 amp power, and of course we use 30 amp. So we thought we were gonna have to go without power. They don't have any like rentals that they give you, but fortunately Cinda and Mark had a spare transformer around, converting the 50 amp to the 30 amp, and so they let us borrow it and we have power. So much nicer that way. It's so interesting because on the far end of the dock, closer to the lake, it's really rough. I mean, it's blowing tonight, like worse than it was today. But in here, it's very calm and nice, and it's nice being on a dock. You know, it's nice to take Ollie out and all that good stuff. We are only here for one night though, and the main goal was to get the courtesy car, get the absentee ballot, and take care of that. So we took care of business, and now we're gonna be kind of taking it a little bit chill. It was a lot of really long days back to back to back, and we're pretty tired. We have some work to catch up on. So we're gonna do that here. We're either gonna go anchor out or go to Grand Harbor. One of our friends has a slip that they might have for us, so we'll see about that. And then we're gonna do the offshoot. So make sure you guys stay tuned. We have a lot of fun future vlogs coming, and we really appreciate you guys sticking around for this one. The other thing that's, before I sign off, the other thing that's really important is to research our fuel issue. It's like weighing on me, and I know I gotta look into that, because if your engine dies in a single engine boat and you're in an area, it can be very dangerous, especially on the rivers, especially with barge traffic. That's the real danger. I mean, you're floating around, we're not going fast, I'm not too worried about hitting things, but a barge, that's very dangerous. So we're gonna look into it, gonna try to fix it, gonna go from there. Anyway, thanks for watching. Good night. What do you think? Do you feel like you're in the clouds? No. We just gotta turn off in this cut, and then we'll be there. our long days of cruising will be over. Woo! Sit. Sit. You want a dental stick? Sit. Okay, or don't.
We have, I think, one more new state after this. This
Really?
is, yeah, which is Alabama.
That's our last new
Yeah. So this is,
So sad.
it's wrapping up, which is, it is sad, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be present and happy with the moment.
I'm happy and present in the moment. So you need a drink, I need a drink.
Ollie says, I need a treat.
A bottle of whiskey, sample of Jack, gin and tonic,
Give me a bottle
shot
of
of
rum.
tequila, yo, and a bottle of rum. Do you
Yo!
want a bottle of rum? Oh, do you want a bottle of rum?
Oh!
Oh my god, Grandma, do you want a bottle of rum?
Gosh. Hi, babe. Hi, sweet
Oh
girl.
my god, you have a bottle of rum.